My name is Doug Wadsworth, and I'm here with my father, Ray Wadsworth. We're going to talk in a minute about the history and evolution of the Alaskan salmon seiner. But first, for a little bio, Dad, can you go ahead and just tell when you were born and where you were born?
Well, I was born in Seldovia, and
What year?
In 1946. And my dad was kind of a storekeeper in Seldovia a little bit, and then somehow, since the major industry was commercial fishing, he got involved in commercial fishing and actually bought a boat called the Sea Scout.
Okay, so before you start, so here's a picture of the Sea Scout I pulled up. So this is the boat. So tell about when you first started fishing on this boat. How old were you? About what year was it?
Well, I was, let's see, it been around 1950. I was 4 years old.
Okay, and that's when you started fishing on this boat? Well,
that's correct. Well, that's when I started with my mom and dad. It was just a family operation out of Seldovia. And we seined for Washington Fish and Oyster Company over in Kodiak, on the north end of Kodiak, and Shuyak Straits at a cannery called Port Williams, which was owned by Washington Fish and Oyster Company.
Okay.
But in those days, there were fish traps in all the rivers, in all the main rivers, the Kenai River and up and down the Cook Inlet. And the fish traps did the majority caught the majority of the fish.
And you said the fish traps were actually owned by the seafood processing companies?
Well, they were like the fisherman, the processor, and the marketer, and so it was that complete business that fishing from catching to marketing,
okay,
making canned salmon. It was all owned by big companies, the Brindles and other big companies whose names have escaped me now.
Okay, so Dad, you said all these, pretty much all the creeks had fish traps in front of them.
Yeah, so there were very few successful small-time fishing operations, and there were a number of reasons for that. Technology hadn't evolved very far. None of the boats had hydraulics. We had nets that were made out of cotton. We had the cork line was made out of real genuine corks, and without hydraulics in the boat, the only real power on the boat was manpower. And so some of the bigger seiners that were involved in Southeast Alaska, when they would have a 10, 12-man crew, and they looked for the biggest, strongest possible men they could find. But from little villages like Seldovia, it was just mom and pop operations, like our operation.
Okay.